big day today. We brought in 5K across all of my accounts. Each of my 5 Topstep funded 50K accounts brought in essentially 1K. My leader brought in $980.20, and the rest of them brought in $981.20. So I'm going to be going over just the trade today. We're looking at the bias, do a quick drill down from higher time frame all the way to the lowest time frame that we trade. And if you want to see the full live stream, or at least skim through it, it's going to be on the live section. So starting from the daily, you can see that yesterday we've closed bullish, but the overall trend was bearish. Today in the morning, we were trading at all-time highs, and my prediction for the day was we're looking for some type of Judah swing to the upside, take out relative equal highs that were resting right here. You can definitely see it on the 1 minute. Right here, we had some highs form at 8 o'clock and 8:33 Eastern. And the move that I was explaining to the watchers was we want to see some type of Judah take out these highs and then catch a position lower to hopefully the midpoint of the opening gap, which you can see here is marked in light green. The actual target was right here. It was the beginning of the new day opening gap of 213, but it did fall short. And we did kind of snag it right when it started pulling back up. It was an 8-1, but we pulled in a 6-1 on it after it pulling back and us cutting the cut short. I think we could have held the trade and it could have been a 9-1, but all in all, with it being Friday, I did want to just cut the profits and close out the charts of the day. So let's talk about the price action of what happened on the daily, or what happened on the 1 minute time frame. Price opened up, it started shooting to the upside right away. It created its first fair value gap here at 9:36. It created the 1 minute first fair value gap and also a 15-second fair value gap there, which I transposed to the 1 minute. It kept driving higher. It took out these relative equal highs here that I'm marking right here on the 1 minute. Once it punched up higher, it started losing steam. And this is where it started to invert fair value gap. So this yellow fair value gap was inverted here. This blue fair value gap acted as initial support. Price broke it, retested it, and then drove deeper. The moment that I saw price driving below and closing below these first presented fair value gaps, that's when I took my position short. My stop was just above the midpoint of this 1 minute wick here. And it was $200 short, or it was $200 worth of risks for a 6-1 position. It did drive in nicely into our profit target. And on the 15-minute chart, when this was all happening, what I want you to get out of this is we were looking at this blue fair value gap, this BISI. When I saw the 10 o'clock candle reject it with a pretty long wick, I had my reservations that we're going to go shorter. But the moment that we had another bearish candle close, that's when I knew that right now the tides are turning on the 15-minute chart, on the 1 minute chart as well. Bearish pressure is kicking in, and there's a very high probability that the moment we break these initial fair value gaps that formed, we're going to want to drive into this opening gap of uncharted territory from yesterday's close, today's open. So that's what price did. And ever since it hit 21,675, it's kind of moving sideways. This is typical price action for Friday afternoon. But all in all, I do know that a lot of you did catch this trade. If you did, congratulations. This was the main move of the day. Today, there were some trades that could have been taken earlier in the morning. They were most likely, I'll call them B-level trades. This one here, we've had essentially price create 1 minute bearish order flow all the way to these relative equal lows that formed at 731. Price essentially almost tapped them out, came back up, created this triple bottom, went into this pink SIBI, aka fair value gap, rejected it, and then it drove lower. So if you're into short scalps, this is a higher probability short scalp. I wouldn't say it's like an A+ trade. It was a 1.8 to 1 RR risk to reward trade. It did drive a lot lower, of course, to sell side liquidity sitting there. But all in all, I think it was very clean price action that we saw today. A massive Judah with a breakdown. And then once we had that breakdown confirmation, we took a short, extracting 5K from the market. So definitely a good day. Hope you learned something from this one. If you didn't catch it, probably take some notes on why. And on that note, I'll be probably doing a couple live streams next week. So feel free to tune in and we'll talk soon. Have a great weekend and be safe.